riding round, and fill your home, safe and sound. Fare thee well, but be back soon. Who can tell where danger's lurking? Do not forget this tune. Be back soon.
Ah, you recognise that, don't you? That's, of course, from Oliver. And the reason we're talking about that and playing it is because the lovely Jay Bryce is on the show. Hello, Jay.
Hello, Debbie.
How are you?
George? I'm very, very well, thank you. How lovely to chat to you, as always, Debbie.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you on, mate. So, you were in that production, weren't you?
Oh, gosh, yes, I was, indeed, yeah. It's, you know, whenever I hear the music, it's really weird. People say, oh, does it make you, like, sick and tired of hearing Oliver? How can you get sick and tired of hearing that music? It's so much fun. Consider yourself. Food, glorious food. I remember the first night we did Food, Glorious Food in tears, watching all these kids that you sort of bond with in rehearsals and everything, and it still brings tears when I listen to it now, which is a relief.
And what was it like working with Rowan Atkinson? Because he played Fagin. He's ever such a private man.
He's very, very private. Well, I understudied Bill Sykes, who is the baddie, which I believe I go get cast as baddies up in London for some reason. I don't know what I do in auditions, but and I went on about, I must have done it 30 times with him, and he was just the most generous actor to work with. He was really, came into the dressing room, you know, my first night doing it, I remember the first time I did it about a week after press night, was really generous, said, look, let's just try it your way. I don't want you to copy anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. You don't need to do a carbon copy of Bern Gorman, who was playing Bill Sykes. Do what you want to do. And he would come and workshop things with me, just things like, you know, passing. There was a moment where you passed candlesticks to Fagin, and we'd workshop that, trying to get the gags right and everything. Say, no, that's fine, what you're working with, let me work something out. He was so friendly as a person. But yes, he was that sort of stand-up. We would never have a pint or anything after the show, unfortunately.
Oh, shame. But you do, don't you, Jay, become a family? Because I went up and saw you in Les Mis, and you were with Alfie Boe. And I know Alfie was, you said as well, he was so nervous at the beginning, and then he just fell into the lap of this family that carried him through.
Yeah, well, you're spending 6 nights a week together, and you're doing 8 shows during the week. You're doing rehearsals, so you end up spending about 60 hours a week with these people. Most of the time, his family lives in America, so he's away from his family, so he'd always be up for doing things during the day. We always do stuff. He'd go for a drink in the evening, things like that. Obviously, he wouldn't drink because he'd have to do Valjean. But no, so he got really into the family. He was much more a social person in the company. He was a really great company member. And we're still in touch now, which is really nice, even after beyond that time. And seeing the mega superstar he is now, he still will answer an email, answer a tweet, things like that. So,
oh, that's so really nice. Jay, how difficult is it? Because, I mean, you have to be almost the best of the best. When you go up to be in something like Les Mis or Oliver, you know, the audition, the panel, you've got the Macintosh, they're looking at you. You've got to give them something that they'll go, yeah, he'll be great. What do you think that is?
Do you know what? I don't know. I still don't know now. I go in, I just remember in Oliver, I just went in, and you just have to get... my Oliver audition was in front of Cameron Macintosh. I remember my agent telling me that, and me almost fainting, thinking, oh my gosh, this is big now. This is, you know, this is... And you get... Do you know what? It helps so much, the performance experience I got from the youth theatre companies like Kids Are Us, like Playwright Theatre Company that I got in Cornwall, working with Phil Barnett, Trevor Hitchings, and then getting that drama school experience. I would never have been able to have had the confidence to go straight from Cornwall, straight into auditions in London. I'm so grateful for my drama school training, the 3 years I did at Mount View Academy of Theatre Arts, because it gets you, they rip you right down to the bare bones, they take you down, saying, and you're just thinking about every little thing you do, every little detail, every word you're singing in your songs, every little detail, and you're thinking, right, am I making this work? Am I connected with what I'm doing? Am I doing something different? You try and bring something different that, you know, for Les Mis especially, there's so many times I spoke to Trevor Jackson, the casting director, and he'll say, Les Mis, you get the same songs every time, but you've just got to do something different with that song, something that goes, hang on a minute, it's that change where suddenly, instead of you're writing away, they've seen 30 people during the day, suddenly it's looking up and going, there we go, there's someone there. Suddenly it's that moment. At the end of the day, they've seen 50 people, they're having a drink, they're thinking at home over the auditions, and suddenly they're thinking, remember that guy who sang that song actually did something different with that, or they're bringing in something new that they've not heard before as well. That's something as well. I think it's just things like that which help get your foot in the door and get you the job.
And you understudied Javert. You went on as Javert, didn't you?
I did, yes. I played Javert. I actually remember the days I played Javert. It was St. Patrick's Day and St. George's Day.
Oh, brilliant.
I did 3 shows, so they always remember. So any time the days fall, I always think, I was playing Javert that time. So, and it was that surreal. I remember I did it 3 times, and I just remember the first show. I think it was just that so surreal thing, like thinking, hang on a minute, little Cornish boy singing Javert. You know, I was 24 when I did Javert, I think, and you're just think of all the people that have done it. I was in the production's been around longer than I've been around. It's older than me. So to have done Javert at the Queen's Theatre, thinking of all the people that I played it for, I think I was just completely overawed by the whole thing. And then you get the second show, and you think, right, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to make sure that I really put my stamp on the part. You want to do your stamp
yes,
on
of
it.
Course,
you know, because there's so many people that have played it, and you think, right, I want people to remember J. Bryce. I think you can find it on YouTube. I know that's very illegal. You can make clips of me singing on YouTube, which is very illegal, obviously.
But Jay, no, it's okay. But building up to that moment as well, it's like when Valjean has to build up to sing "Bring Him Home." It's the moment everyone's waiting for. But for me, I love it when Javert does Stars. That makes me cry every time I hear it.
But even in rehearsals, you get that moment. You're in rehearsals, and you probably rehearsed it 100 times. And then it's that moment, suddenly the actor that you're rehearsing in, I remember Alfie coming in to rehearse, we got Hadley Fraser playing Javert, and suddenly you all take a moment and you just hear, because the songs, I mean, I can never get sick of it. I mean, who can get sick of Les Mis?
Never.
Anyway, you never get sick. Exactly. I mean, I did 2 years and I could still listen to the soundtrack all day, all night long. And suddenly everyone, so from the crew, from the cast, the creators, suddenly everybody's interested, stop what they're doing, listening to Stars. It's those numbers, Stars, On My Own, I Dreamed a Dream, Bring Him Home. I love doing Javert's soliloquy because I thought that's the moment Javert can really let his guard down and let that sort of authority lose that authority and really let his passion come out. And suddenly that's when he's questioning himself, everything he's believed. I love to do that because then that's when you can really break the character that you were trying to build up, and suddenly it's this passion, outpour of passion that you're doing. So very much enjoy it. I'm now working on Les Mis with Kids R Us now, which is so lovely because I finished the show last June, and I'm so grateful to work on it again. To continue my chapter of Les Mis. I mean, I first did Les Mis 10 years ago with Playwright Theatre Company with Trevor. It was the Cornish...
I saw it.
Cornish amateur premiere where I played Andras. I'm a bit old for Andras now, unfortunately. But to now come back to Les Mis as sort of I'm sort of creative consultant, if you like, down at Kids. So I sort of just go down and say, no, do it like this, do that. And the company, when they are focused, which... sometimes they're not, but I can't blame them because I wasn't quite focused when I was 15, I think. But when they are, the work they produce brings everyone to tears in that room. And it's just something about the musical that gets under your skin, isn't it? About the words, the songs, the characters. We've all got our favourite characters. We all can connect with Fantine. We can all connect with Eponine. We can all connect with Valjean's plight. There's just something so timeless about the musical. I can't see it ever closing in the West End.
No, I can't see it either. But that's the reason we're talking to you today, is because you're bringing the West End to the South West.
I am. Well, I'm trying to. Yes, I am indeed. No, this is something that I've always wanted to do. This is something since I left drama school that I've wanted to do. So I'm bringing a workshop down to Cornwall. It's going to be Tuesday the 20th of August to Friday the 23rd of August. It's a 4-day intensive fun workshop. The summer school, it's going to include singing lessons, it's going to include dance lessons. We're going to do a song presentation class where I want people who want to go up, sing a solo, sing a duet, sing a trio, and we're going to work on the vocal technique, work on connections to the words. If it's a comedy song, trying to get the best comedy moments so that you can really tell the difference, and the people will be able to observe this and see bits where it's really changing the room, sort of that thing of an audition where you can produce something that suddenly just can go up a level and just make you stand out just that little bit more. The 4 days is going to work towards a showcase performance that's going to be performed in front of family, friends at the end of the week on the Friday. That's going to include some group numbers, some solos, some duets, some dance numbers, and I want to include some scene work as well, some drama. So we're going to I want to work with some playwrights that people may not have heard of. And I want it to be a really fun week, and I just want it to be that sort of intensity that I felt at drama school. Now, it's not quite as intense as drama school in that, at Mountview, I think there were days that I did 9 till 9. I remember one day my mum came and stayed with me in London. 8:30 in the morning, I had my ballet bar class, and I didn't finish till 9, and she'd made some lunch for me, and she phoned me at the end of the day, and she made my lunch for me.
Yeah.
She still does that for me now, but she made that, and I didn't eat it until 9 o'clock in the evening, I think.
Well, listen, Jay, we'll keep that date here, Tuesday the 20th of August. Is there a phone number if anybody wants to ring up and book their children on?
Indeed, we've got a website. It's westendsouthwest.wix.com/workshops. So that's www.westendsouthwest.wix.com/workshops. The number 078 255 01542. We've got a Facebook page, we've got a Twitter page. You can find that all on the website. If you just type in West End to Southwest, you can find the Facebook page and Twitter page. If you go to kidsareus.net, you can get more information there as well, all about the workshop, and you can find out all about Kids Are Us as well, which is a great company. They're trying to raise money now for this. They've got the chance to buy the adjoining building to the theatre.
Oh, yes, I know, yeah.
Unbelievable opportunity. And do you know what? This is what I love about Cornwall as well, that community feel. They need £100,000. They've got £36,000 in about 3 weeks, which is just incredible. You're getting people doing coffee mornings, doing dinners, doing and it's inspiring all of the community to get around, to get something that's going to be good for the community, because it's going to be so much better than having, what else do you want, a nightclub in St Ives? Do you want
well, listen, I've got to let you go because I've got to fit in Javert and Stars before the news.
Oh, get that in, of
Get
course.
that in now. All right, then.
I don't want to listen to me waffling on.
Jay, it's lovely to speak to you. And when you come down, pop in and say hello. And good luck with the career.
Thank you very much, Debbie. All the best to you. Cheerio.
There, out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from grace, fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face, till we come face to face.